First of all, I might tell you a little bit about why you would use Facebook as a learning space, and there are several reasons. Number one is that it's a social environment, so it's conducive to social learning, and a lot of ESOL learning will take place in a social environment with interactions between students talking about ordinary everyday things, and so Facebook provides a perfect environment for this type of interaction.
I suppose the tips I would give going forward is to have socialization weeks, so to have a couple of weeks where I suppose not to assume that all students are okay with every aspect of Facebook. So maybe to do kind of a recap on all the things that Facebook can do. So for example, uploading, pictures, images, creating links.
You would make sure that people had the IT skills, were comfortable working in a group, were comfortable writing online where others might see it. So that would be assessed before you'd start. Once that was done then, and you would identify any gaps, any resource gaps that were there. What we did in Clare was we worked in a few extra classes to help try and address those gaps.
My one big tip would be vigilant and proactive, okay? But do not at any stage feel that you should wade in on top of your students. I suppose let your students develop within this learning space themselves. One thing the students were afraid of when they signed up, first of all, was that some of these threads would end up on their own private Facebook accounts. So what we did was set up mock Gmail accounts and mock Facebook accounts with them first, and then we went back and forth just to make sure, because sometimes Facebook do change security settings. So as a tutor going forward, and I suppose the administrator, you have to make sure that these security settings are in place. So that gives the students, I suppose, a more comfortable environment to work in as well.
Typically ESOL students, when they leave the classroom, will go back to speaking their own language at home and at work, and socialising with friends. But if you use Facebook in conjunction with face-to-face class, it can send messages to students. It'll bring English into their everyday lives.
But what came out of the pilot was one of the ladies had no formal education at all. She had never been to school. So in her mind, she wasn't able to read or write. And she emerged getting a distinction. So she emerged going on to level 5 and level 6 in her studies, and got a distinction at level 6. So if that's not proof positive of maybe the benefit of using Facebook as a learning space, I don't know what is.